Hi everyone. So welcome to today's discussion. Today I want to talk about VAWA versus a marriage green card and which one should you file. So if you're married to a U.S. citizen, I'm looking at two cameras because I'm recording for TikTok and Instagram and also for YouTube. So pardon me if you see me go back and forth. But if you are married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, you might be, thinking about your options and you're wondering, should you file a marriage-based green card together? What if your relationship is not in a healthy place right now? What if there's been manipulation, control, even abuse in the relationship? You're asking yourself questions, should you just stick with it? Or whether or not you should, or whether or not you have any other option. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are choosing the right path because choosing the wrong path can seriously hurt your case. So in today's discussion, I want to break down the difference between a VAWA case and a marriage-based green card case and how to decide which one is going to be the right one for you in your situation. Okay, again, my name is Ebony Anaforo. I am a U.S.-based immigration attorney. I'm the founder of Anaforo Law Firm. I represent clients across all 50 states and globally when it comes to U.S. immigration. And what we're going to be talking about today is very important because anytime you're dealing with immigration, you want to be very strategic in your decision making, okay? Especially when you're deciding between a VAWA case and a marriage green card case, okay? So let's start with what is a marriage-based green card, okay? So a marriage-based green card means that you and your spouse, you file together. You and your spouse are in a bona fide marriage, meaning you guys are in a relationship, you plan to build a future together, you're married for real, the marriage is genuine, and you have to prove that your marriage is real and ongoing for U.S. immigration, and your spouse is the one sponsoring you, okay? Now, this process typically involves your spouse petitioning you through an I-130 and you filing the I-485 adjustment of status if you're in the United States. You attend an interview together where they're going to ask you questions about your relationship. You're going to provide joint documentation of your bona fide marriage, like your bank account statements, lease, photos, etc., right? Proving that your marriage is real. And this works best when, like I said before, the relationship is genuine, right? When both parties are cooperative, meaning your spouse, who's your petitioner, is cooperative and they're, on board and you guys are in love, right? And then there's no major issues in the marriage, okay? That is when this situation and this type of petition works best. Now, when a marriage case becomes risky, let's talk about that, okay? So here's what many people don't really talk about. A marriage-based case becomes risky when your spouse refuses to help you, your spouse threatens to withdraw the petition from you, there is emotional, financial, or physical abuse in the relationship, you feel controlled or afraid of your spouse, right? And there are many more other examples, right, of how a marriage becomes risky in the relationship, right? You want to think about this because when it comes to the marriage-based green card, your entire case depends on your spouse. Okay, if they walk away, your case collapses, right? You have to be in it together in order for a marriage-based green card to work. So now I want to talk about what VAWA is, okay? Because this is where VAWA comes in when we have those types of situations. Now, VAWA allows certain spouses of U.S. citizens or even green card holders to file for themselves without the abuser's involvement. You do not need your spouse's permission. You do not need them to sign anything. And most importantly, you take back control of your case, right? VAWA covers many different types of abuse, and I named a few of them, including physical abuse, emotional abuse. It covers psychological control, financial control, and many other types of and forms of abuse, okay? It's not just physical. People think it has to just be a physical abusive situation to qualify. So, VAWA may be a better strategy for you if you find yourself in those situations. If your spouse is abusive or controlling, if you're afraid to continue with them in the process because of those things we talked about, if they're threatening you based on your immigration status, if the relationship has broken down due to mistreatment, right? And you just want to keep in mind that all these things can happen. Even if there's no physical abuse, you may still have a strong VAWA case, okay? Many strong cases with VAWA include isolation, threats, manipulation, and then immigration-related controls. So it's not only physical abuse that matters in these types of cases, right? So now the key difference in these two types of cases is going to be your strategy, okay? Marriage-based cases, you're gonna need evidence of joint documents, you're gonna need proof of living together, shared finances, photos, trips, a lot of different evidence proving that you're in a real marriage. Now with the VAWA case, you need to prove that your marriage is real. That's still required, right, for VAWA cases. But you're also gonna have to show evidence of abuse or extreme cruelty, okay? You're gonna provide a personal declaration talking about what you went through. And this is very, very important. It's very critical for VAWA cases. And you can also provide supporting evidence that supports your declaration, okay? So you can provide evidence of therapy records, affidavits, medical records. If there was physical abuse, maybe police records if you have them, okay? So VAWA cases are gonna be more narrative driven and evidence strategic. And this is why you want to work with an attorney who has experience in VAWA cases so that you make sure that you do it the right way. Now, timing can either make or break your case. So here are some few strategic considerations you want to think about. If your marriage case is already filed, you may still be able to convert or supplement it with a VAWA case. So it's not over if you've already filed a marriage case. You still might be able to convert it. Filing VAWA early can protect you from delays or sabotage. So you want to think about it. How are things going in the marriage, right? Should you consider VAWA now or wait? Waiting too long can affect your evidence or your credibility, right? It's not a one-size-all decision, but you want to really think strategy when it comes to when is the best time to file your VAWA case. Now, some common mistakes that people make are staying in the bad situation just because they want to fix their papers. You have options. Filing jointly when the relationship is unstable. There can be sabotage there. Not documenting the abuse early. If it's happening, document it. Don't wait. Start writing it down. Right? Keep proof. Taking advice from friends instead of professionals. I see this a lot. Oh, my friend did it this way. My cousin got it this way. Talk to a professional who has experience dealing with these types of cases. Every case is different, and these mistakes can really cost you years in your immigration matter, or even a denial, and you want to avoid that. Okay, so choosing between VAWA and choosing between a marriage-based green card is not just a legal decision. It's really a strategic decision, right? And the right choice is going to depend on, one, your relationship, right? Your safety and your long-term immigration goals. Now, when it comes to long-term immigration goals, this is where I come in. If you're in a situation where you're not sure what to do, don't guess, right? Let's create a strategy that protects you and your future. Okay, so you can give us a call or send us a WhatsApp message. It's the same number, 201-565-0099. You book a consultation, and we'll sit down and we'll create a strategic plan for you based on your circumstances that's personal to you. I represent clients in all 50 states and globally when it comes to U.S. immigration. I'd be happy to talk to you about your specific immigration matter. And I hope that you enjoyed this discussion. If you know anyone in this situation, please share this video with them, share this information, because this can make or break someone's situation where they find themselves stuck or they feel like they don't have any options. Okay, so if you or someone you know needs to talk to an attorney about their immigration status, I would be happy to help. Again, my name is Eboniano Foro. I'm a U.S. immigration attorney, and I represent clients in all 50 states and globally with U.S. immigration law matters. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.